Good morning, Thor. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Always, When did you get up this morning? When do you normally get up, Ines?
Well, because usually if I'm working, I get up at 5:15.
Wow.
Drag my little butt around. But today I got up at 7. I did some laundry, which needs drying. I looked out and I saw that it is raining. It stopped raining. This is in Leatherhead. It is raining, everybody. But it's not cold.
It's not cold, but it's raining where I am now. So it's good to hear that it's raining in Leatherhead, because that means that where I am, it'll stop raining soon, which I'm looking forward to.
Yes, exactly. Did I tell you that once when I was working in a high rise, and where I was working, I was asked to send a message, take a message to the other side of the building, and it was raining on my side, and this small walk, I was in sunshine, so I don't know where the rain clouds stop. It must stop someplace, mustn't it? But it's really weird. It says, oh, there it's raining, here it's not, and I was staying in the middle. Very weird.
That is because sometimes you see the dividing line of where it stops and where it begins, right?
Yeah, sort of like a veil, isn't it? Sort of, you see the water coming down. Yes.
Yeah. It's like the veil of spirit, isn't it? There's like a dividing line, and sometimes you can see the shimmering coming through, right?
Coming through with Halloween coming through as well.
Yes, because it is Halloween this weekend, isn't it?
It is, yes.
Because you're in America, because like you grew up in America. Did you have a huge thing for Halloween growing up?
Awesome. But when I went out trick or treating, I had the shopping bags, the paper shopping bags. They must be about 2 foot long. They're the really big ones. I went out with that, and it was full. I went out with a little Jazzy who lives in Sleepy Hollow. And the last time I went trick-or-treating with him before COVID, he had a tiny bag. So this is like an A4 bag. And I said, what is this? This is not what I remember. You put your hand in, you grab. And you also got money, which was awesome, which was even better, than Sweeties. Mm-hmm. And it's changed a lot.
Has it?
Yeah, it has. Everything is mean and tightened. What
was when you were a kid, what was your favorite thing to dress up as?
Oh, well, let me see. I don't know. I really don't know, because I'm not into dressing up in characters. I wasn't sort of a tooth fairy or something like that, or princess or Superman or Superbat, anything like that. No, but it had to have a costume. Otherwise, the people did not give you anything. You had effort.
Yeah, you have to make it. I'm not really big into dressing up either. I don't love it.
No. If I got something in return, this is such a spiritual conversation, I went for it. Yeah, but that's the only reason. I don't actually like even costume parties.
No, me neither.
No, I don't. And no. It doesn't.
I
doesn't
think
have anything.
I actually think the worst bit though is like the travel to and from the costume party, because you have to actually wear the costume outside.
Yes, that's true.
If I could be like covered until I got there.
That's right. Yes.
And then take it off the coat when I got there, maybe. But it's the journey to and from. It's like awful.
Yeah, very awful. And it could be expensive if you decide to go by Uber or something like that.
Yeah.
Their prices have gone up. Everything has gone up so much.
Yeah.
Badly much.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the future holds with the prices going up.
Well, I don't think we need a crystal ball for that.
Well, I got one in the background here, so maybe we can.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Just go and have a look. Just be like, how bad is it going to be? And be like, Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, I don't really like dressing up either, and I didn't really do it as a kid much, because it's not huge in Norway. I mean, it's sort of Halloween sort of happens, but it's not huge.
Well, it's every country has their bits and pieces. Why drag them all over the world? It doesn't have any significance here. But the Salem witch trials were, of course, very much in that area,
right?
And on the East Coast, and that's where then Halloween and everything else started as well. I expect Halloween had something else to do with the coming of autumn, transition from summer to autumn as well. It's
but it's also
we have something similar actually.
Yeah, well, it's also about because it's like a South American tradition, isn't it? Which is now
Yeah,
I'm trying
yeah.
to remember the name of, because it's like All Saints Nights, isn't it?
Yes, yes, exactly. And
Yeah,
I know around Stonehenge, it was also a pagan holiday. It still is. And that has to do with autumn as well. And
yeah,
then it's just in the States, they coined it, Halloween.
yeah. All the spirits moving around, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I suppose the best thing is when you can actually see them moving around.
You can see them. Oh.
So, what's your take on the Salem witch trials? Just as a bit of a side note there.
Well, uh, with this, well, the witch trials, they were terrible. I mean, there's so much superstition. Um, I've read only a little bit about them, but they were wrongly accused. These women, of course, it was
Hmm.
absolutely horrific. It's no different now. You point a finger at somebody, you start a bad, bad vibe, and you get something hideous.
Hmm.
Some person who's in authority, and at that time, of course, it was the men that were in authority. Whoever was not even a judge, the spokesperson for the village with their big black hats, mean personality, no joy in their life, whatever. I'm exaggerating. This is only my take on it. And then they accused some women. Maybe they were probably herbalists,
Yeah.
nothing more, who were helping, who were living off of the land, who knew the different types of mushrooms to pick, the berries, the roots, and so on. And they were victimized for that. That's
Hmm.
all. And possibly they helped somebody, and because of that helping, they had to be witches because the person could not have possibly survived. It's terrible,
Yeah.
absolutely terrible.
Yeah. 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 It is. It is absolutely terrible. What would we say is the modern 21st century version of this? Like, where's the? I don't know.
I think it's bullying, cyberbullying.
Yeah.
I think that is the modern version.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're absolutely right. Cyberbullying.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And the need to live up to somebody's fairy tale life,
Yeah.
which is usually 100% wrong.
Yeah.
And then what I've read, a lot of young people committing suicide.
Yeah. Suicide is
Uh-huh.
super high.
Yeah.
Super high. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
awful. Yeah. It's
And
not
not
a.
appreciating who you are yourself. Okay, so you've got three noses, and you know you're picked at.
Mm.
No different.
No different. So, what are we doing this week, Ines? What are we
Oh,
touching on?
what are we doing? Oh, Thor. I am going to start off with this awesome question, which is actually really rather nice from what we were just talking about. This is sort of a question to everybody who's listening. Okay, now we're all looking for something. Everybody's looking for something, but we don't really quite know what it is, what we're looking for. But it's something that we cannot hold in our hands, and we can't actually do an awful lot with, except for the benefit of our own ministrations and our own thoughts or feelings. But we all need it, and that is,
Meditation.
go for it, go on more.
Well, I think,
It's not a trick question. I'm trying
yeah,
to open a conversation also mentally for anybody who's listening.
yeah, no, but it's a really, really interesting question though, because it's like it's a really, really fascinating question in terms of, I suppose we're all, well, a lot of people are sort of looking towards the future, right? Of what is going to happen next. Like, what am I going to do? Is this going to happen? Is that going to
Yeah,
happen? Who knows, right? So we're looking for some sense of safety. We're looking for some certainty. We're looking for a deeper understanding of who and what we are.
yeah,
And I mean, we can obviously get glimpses of what the future may or may not look like with like tarot and like intuition and psychic abilities and going and seeing a reader, for example. Like, we can get glimpses, but at the end of the day, it always really starts with having a sense of confidence in our own self, in that regardless of what the future holds, we have the confidence to deal with both the ups and the downs. So I would
right.
say it's like confidence and trust in ourselves to deal with whatever life unfolds to be. That's what I
Oh,
think.
okay, nice, very nice. What we all need is love.
Well, yes, that too. That is
That
very
is that,
true.
yes. And
Yes.
it's, we need it on very much, we can go through money, security, joy of helping others, health, safety, all of those things. At the end of the day, we need love. That
Yes.
is the foundation of our life. We need it on a physical level. It gives us a sense of belonging, to be appreciated, cherished, and sharing our life with someone. But there's also more, actually, and that is the ability to open our thoughts for others. It is love. It has to begin with ourselves. The
Mm,
appreciation, what we were saying about cyberbullying. Whoever we are is precious and is perfect in the eyes of, let's say, God.
mm,
Whatever you believe in, whatever, however we were created, that is perfection for us.
mm.
Maybe not for the rest of the population, but who cares? There's also more to opening our thoughts for others, to be totally aware of another's needs. When that is able to be achieved, that comes when the candle of understanding has been lit within ourselves. And that candle of understanding we call enlightenment, wisdom, wisdom from within, whatever. But it is that empathy, to be able to understand and to move with other people. By helping and being aware of others' needs, we're actually also helping ourselves, as it brings forward a deep sense of calmness that can only be born from within ourselves. The mind is a calm instrument, but the problems that emanate around us, obviously in the physical life, ruin that calmness. We're very strong. The human race is very strong, actually. But most things that go wrong with the body are created from how we are, how we live, how we move our body, how we eat, how we drink. That's not just alcohol. Do you drink enough water? And of course, also smoke. That includes obviously other sort of imbibing, other sort of not only nicotine, but other sort of weed or whatever it happens to be. All these things can interfere with the perfect running of the body, and that there's no difference between the perfect running of our body and with the peace and the calmness of the mind, which comes back to what you said, the first word that you said, meditation. So that again is a circle of interaction of the body. The meditation calms the mind, If most things are instigated by the mind, then we're already eliminating a lot of modern illnesses. I'm not saying they weren't always around, but we're eliminating a lot of those illnesses because the mind is a calm instrument. Stress can create hideous things, mini strokes, a little bit of your brain is always chipped away. All of a sudden you can't really, okay, so one arm doesn't work very much. Oh, you can use the other arm, it's not too bad. And then the other little mini stroke comes because the stress level is so high in that individual. What do you feel? Because you're also, Thor, you're also very much involved with meditation and calming in a corporate environment, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I love everything that you just said, because there's an interesting thing to pick out on is that, obviously we focus a lot on the meditation as the spiritual practice, but you also talked about lifestyle there, right? Because
Yeah,
it's not one or the
huge.
other. And there's this really, really, really great meme that I often see on Instagram. So basically there's like two doors basically. And on the first door, there's like this huge queue, and it's like, I don't know, I'm paraphrasing now, but it says like happy pill, basically.
Yes.
And the other door says like lifestyle changes.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's
obviously
interesting.
everybody wants the happy pill because that's the easy thing to
The
do.
quick fix. Yeah.
It's the quick fix. Whilst lifestyle changes are really, really hard work. And for all of those who like have follow this for a long time knows that, you know, we're all about also the exercise and eating well and moving, like you said, like moving your body is so important. And it's
Yeah,
interesting that you used the word love there, because that doing that is love for oneself.
exactly. You respect your own body.
Yeah, respecting oneself and one's
Yes.
self-worth is
Yeah.
essential. It's an interesting thing about meditation in corporate environment, though, because I do, obviously the meditation in corporate environments really works, and it sort of pushes the needle in the right way. But I mean, if there's an environment which is deprived of love,
Yeah.
it is the corporate environment. You
Yeah.
know, my experience at least is that they are
Yeah.
deprived of, because love also means connection, right?
Absolutely. Respect, connect. Yeah,
Respect,
absolutely. Yeah.
meaningful, wholehearted
Yeah.
connection. And the corporate environment, in my experience, is deprived of that. So the meditation helps, but they also need so much more.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Um, Getting back to this corporate situation, I sometimes feel that it is deliberately uh, devoid of human empathy
Mm,
to try to get the individuals to work harder to compete, not only with themselves but with others as well,
mm,
which doesn't leave any room for just for life.
mm. Yeah, there's no, I mean, again, if we, I suppose we could change the word out with like humanness. You
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
it's just gone. And I mean, I just know so many people who work in a meaningless job in many ways, from like 8 till 9 every day, from 8 till 9 every day.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
you don't have time to go to the theater, go see a musical, go to the cinema, spend time with your family, friends, all of that
Exactly.
stuff. And it's an interesting thing though, because a lot of people which I know are also just so devoted to that job. And I'm just like, but why?
Yeah.
When you're like exhausted, like outside of work, why be so devoted to that job? It's purposeless.
Absolutely. That's right. Work is a means to an end. Of course, we have devotion. Say you're a doctor or whatever. No,
Mm,
I take that back. I have the same respect for the street cleaner as I
yeah,
do for the doctor.
yeah,
If someone has the privilege of going to higher education to fulfill their dream, I think that's great. But the street cleaner, to me, everyone is totally on an equal standing.
yeah.
If my bin's uncollected, if there isn't somebody that picks up somebody out of those idiots rubbish that they throw out of the window, then where would we be? We'd be in a terrible, terrible mess.
We would be in a terrible
Yeah,
mess. I
yeah.
suppose what I'm trying, yeah, and just to build on that, I suppose the thing is like people shouldn't be working 10-hour days being
They
paid penny.
shouldn't.
You know, that's the trick, isn't it? You could be working, I don't know, 7.5 hours a day, which is, I think, is a
It,
decent amount, and be
yeah,
paid well.
exactly. Yeah,
And then you have
absolutely. Yes.
tons of time to be with your family and
Yeah,
friends and do your
yeah,
stuff, basically.
yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. No, I agree with that.
yeah.
Um, it sounds marginally, I don't know, but to be of help to others, that doesn't always mean that you have to go and volunteer for anything. It is not, that is not what is meant, but to be of help to others, to understand other people's needs. And that comes down to something very simple, such as, how are you? How's your family? But maybe with an expression that you actually care. It's not
Mm,
just, oh yeah, how are you? Oh, great, bye. That sort of thing. But to be courteous, what we just said, to open up a degree of decorum and respect for others, for anyone. This actually reinstates calmness within ourselves. And what we're talking about actually is a form of um, what would you call it? Good God, um, it's it is a decorum. It's a lifestyle. It's an attitude of an individual's mind that respects everyone. Doesn't mean you cannot be the boss that makes certain everyone's doing their job. It's a what would you call it? Oh gee, um, what do we call it? It's an attitude of mind that
mm,
elevates an individual way above anyone else.
Mm.
You can still be on top of the pile. It does not detract from motivation at all. But it also doesn't mean you have to psychologically kill in order
Yeah.
to get to your own place.
Yeah. You don't need to be an a-hole, basically.
Yeah,
That is,
absolutely.
that's,
Absolutely.
you know, that's the premise, isn't it? Is that you can be kind, caring, and empathetic,
That's
and
right.
still be the boss.
That's right. There's a little stall in Leatherhead, because it's a small place, and he sells phones, but mainly he sells the accessories, and he also does mini repairs. And anyway, the town was going to increase all of the rates, even of this little tiny stall. The store belongs to somebody else, so he's an employee. And there was a very big thing that maybe he had to leave that stall. And I said to him, I said, sorry about this. I hope you're not going to leave. And because it looked as if he had to give up this little pathetic stall. And all he said to me, he said, no one can take anything away from me. And what it means is that if he is meant to succeed, if he is meant to have a job, no one can take that away. And that is absolutely correct. The success and the perseverance of any of us cannot be dented. Sometimes we take a side road. It cannot be taken away by somebody else. Even if it looks as if you have lost your job, lost your place in society because of somebody else's bad mouthing or anything like that, it comes back. It all comes back again. So it's all very well. If we're on I've had this sort of on a social level, people say, oh yes, well, I believe in this. It sounds so nice, such nice people. Oh, I give to this, I go give to global warming, I'm cutting back on this. But we actually have to live as we preach, not just verbal diarrhea of something, but we also have to live as we feel it is correct to live. And if we make a commitment, it is our responsibility to follow it through. And that commitment should be always to live our life, our individual lives, to the best of our ability, to take pride in our life in whichever way it happens to be. And that is really the love that we should show for ourselves, that we need physical love, we need companionship. That's part of us. I'm talking very general. I know some people don't want it, but that is love for yourself. This is my life. This is what I am. That's it. And it does follow through. And I think it's wonderful, the clairvoyance and so on and so forth that we get, because we're needy. Every human being is needy.
Yeah, and I think maybe just accepting that that's what we are, and that's just life.
That's absolutely, yes.
Yeah. So I suppose acceptance is a form of love. Self-acceptance is a form of self-love, right?
Yes, it is. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
and if we can't accept ourselves, then how can we accept somebody else's, whoever they are?
Yeah. What are your wise pearls of wisdoms this week, Ines?
What is that wisdom? Ooh.
Not that you're not always wise, but this is like this is like the cherry on the top.
Everything is the result of change.
Everything is the result of change. Yeah, because change is the only certainty in life, right?
That's right. Taxes and what is it? They said on one program, it's taxes and death, isn't it?
I think it is taxes and death.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The two things that only certain in life is taxes and death.
That's it. Yeah.
Well,
and they actually had taxes a long time ago already. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Ines, for another amazing podcast. I really enjoy that, because I think it's about, I think perhaps sometimes what's missing in life, which is what you just talked about, which is like having some principles to live by for oneself and for other people.
That's right. Ethics, yes.
Ethics and principles. And I think it's just so important for people to establish for themselves what their own personal ethics are.
Yes, that's right.
I don't think a lot of people have done that for themselves, basically.
I think it's also very easy to capitulate because someone doesn't agree. and you want to be part of the pack.
Mm.
Is it worth being part of the pack if you don't get on with the philosophy? It's not a matter of saying they're wrong and you're right, but there are other people that feel exactly the same way as you do.
Yeah.
Find the group that make you feel at ease
Mm.
and happy with life.
Because life is so short in so
It
many
is.
ways. It's
Seems
short and
so-
long at the same time.
Yeah.
Short and long at the same time.
Yes. And when you're sitting where you are with a long beard or gray hair, and you will say, yes, I'm only 90 and I'm going strong.
Well, that's the plan. I am planning to be a fit and happy 90-year-old. That is the plan.
Excellent. But you know, on that little issue, you watch what you eat. You're not a nutter. You eat everything, correct? That's right. You also exercise. You try to calm your mind, but you're also working. And you're also working towards a goal. You have a goal. So that is all the situations that help you to calm your mind and move forward. So there's no reason. I think that's very good. And it's the exercise and the healthy lifestyle that you have.
Yeah, because I'm planning to stick around for a long time. So anyway, thank you, Ines, for another week. And if anyone has any questions, comments, or wants us to explore a topic, just send us a message and we'll get onto it.
Okay, brilliant.
All right. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Take care.